in D.C., as the brother said, and other places in Japan, they know that Imam Muhammad was a special person. Special person. To come from humble beginnings and to be invited to big places and high places. And that wasn't by just his doing, it's by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala working with him, giving him a message that will resonate and to get the attention to bring him there. You are part of that. Me, you, and all of us are part of that. So it's important. It's very important that we keep the discipline and study and keep what was left by Imam Deen Muhammad. Now we have Allah, the Most High, subhanahu wa ta'ala, who left the Quran on earth as a repository. He brought the message, he brought the revelation through Jibreel, through Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is the example, the best example on the planet earth. I don't care, you can go back to Diogenes, Aristotle, you can go to the 25 dynasties coming up through Africa, you can do that. He is recognized as the most prolific example on the face of the planet. You are a part of that. You study Quran, we follow his example, and most of all, we saw something that we lived and experienced. One brother who studied Allah's book, the Quran, he studied the example, the best example to humanity, Prophet Muhammad, and he developed to a very unique person. No, he's not a prophet, but I tell you what, he worked hard to emulate what the prophet, what he stood for. He tried his best to exemplify. Every time he come before us, there's not a single student in here can say that he ever came before us without being under the influence of the Quran and the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad. Every time that he came before us, not one time for 35 years, he did that. I don't know an African American do something for 35 minutes consistent. I'm serious. We'll lose the discipline. We'll lose the purity of intention. If a pretty woman come by, oh my goodness, we may lose everything. You see? Oh no, but we're keeping it real. We're keeping it real. Imam Muhammad kept the discipline. He kept the purity of intention. So what does that mean for us who have been in association with him? That we must do the same thing. The language and the words that he left, I'm so glad. I thank Allah for whoever idea it was to write it down, DVD it, CD it, book it, whatever we do, so we can go back and say, oh no, brother, it's right here. This is what he said. So we're going to keep the purity right in the language. Because I don't believe that we yet understand the value of who was around us. I don't know. I don't think so. From our actions. Now somebody said words and action, ways and action speak louder than words. By our ways and action, we don't yet realize who was among us and who is still among us. And we say we have faith, we say we have trust, we say we believe, but you know, faith, trust, belief, you know what it comes out to on the bottom end? At one time, yes, but then something else, as you keep working with it, you begin to know. You begin to know. You got to know who you are. He took us, I'm looking at the descendants of the people who worked 150 years free in this country. That's what I'm looking at. Now, we don't want to get off in that's kind of touchy. Well, we don't want to talk about that because, you know, that's black. That's in our past. Well, it is in our past, but I tell you what, your future, you got to know something about your past so you know where you're going in the future. You work 150 years free. You don't get paid. You understand? They free you from the land after doing all type of heinous things to you and set up Jim Crow laws to restrict you for another 100 years. And they say, oh, guess what, guys? Let's give them civil rights. Because they were embarrassed by what they saw on television. The world said, oh, you the leader of the free world? Are you the humane people? And I see the fire hosing the women and the dogs and so forth and so on. So they had to change their way. Let's give them civil rights. Lyndon B. Johnson, let's have a meeting with all the Southern guys and get them on board, and let's pass the Civil Rights Bill. But guess what, guys? We're not going to give them on a group right. We're going to give it on the individual rights. Therefore, they can never get group equity in this country because it's on the individual rights. The Indians get it. The Japanese get it. They didn't work free. We work free. We build a country. They get it as a group right. We don't. What is this about? This is about letting you know who you are. But here you are. Beautiful. Strong. After all, got to get some water. Because I have diabetes. And I start drowning. There it is. Excuse me. You have to bear with me. I'm not a young man anymore. But I got a young man. That's right. You're not supposed to get loud in Islam, are you? I'm supposed to be, I'm going to be myself. God made me, and He didn't make me like any of you. And He didn't make you like me. I'm going to respect you like you are, and I love you like you are, and I hope that you love me. Because, you know, when the bottom line comes down, we in it together. They say a rising tide raise all boats. That's the biggest lie I've been told. Some of the boats on the bottom. With holes in them. Thank you, brother. Come on up here with me, because you got it. Thank you, brother. With holes in them. It can't rise. But this boat can rise. Because Allah got His hands on this body. Allah got His hands on it. Don't worry about it, people. Brothers and sisters, don't worry about it. Anytime you're distressed, don't worry about it. Because He got us this far. And when I went back to, I didn't even deal with the slave ship in the Middle Passage. I just said 150 years working free. When you consider where you come from and see where you are, you can appreciate what you are. And then, when you know who you are, it's important that you know thyself. It's very important. Because some of the reasons why we have to get up and say, well, let's work with the president, let's do this or that, that shouldn't even have to happen. That should be a given. That should be a mathematical given. That's a given, and then you work on other things to solve the problem. Excuse me again. It should be a given that we work. If we understand the body, you know what, I had these notes, and I got a bunch of other stuff on here, but you know what, I'm not going by those. You're not pulling that out of me. So I'm going to go with what you pull out of me, because I'm a part of you. I had a lot of stuff here, but I got to go with it. I pray Allah, I ask Allah for guidance. He's given it to me, and I'm going to take it. It should be a given. If we believe as we say we believe, if we supported our leader as we say we did, I support Imam Mohammed. Allahu Akbar, Takbir, Allahu Akbar, Alhamdulillah, brother. Where are they? The ones that were right there with him, you know, who I couldn't get to him. I only talked to him. Yeah, I talked to him about 3 times, 4 times personally, and a couple of times on the phone. They were searching me like I was the, me and Wallace got searched. You know, security got me backed up. Get back, brother. You know, and so I said, well, I know what my heart is. I love this brother. I love him for real. You know, because I had a problem coming out of the South of real Muhammad. I had a problem loving Prophet Muhammad more than I love my mother and father. I had to work with that. When I read that, I said, oh, no. There's nobody. No. But through time and effort, I learned to understand